Hello. Hello, and welcome to the Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where we can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva. I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently just drinking some water because hydration is important. And it's the end of the night, so waters just seems correct at this point. But if I was drinking anything else, I'd rather be drinking out of my cup mug. Ooh. I lost my remote.
Oh no.
Oh
It's a panel
no.
full of cup mugs, though.
It is a panel full of cup mugs that deserve to be celebrated, but I kind of nope, there it is. Found it. I found it. My water was covering it up.
Well,
See. Panel full of cup mugs, panel full of cup mugs. Beer. All right. And you can get your cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. The link will be in the description below. And we do ship to the U.S. domestically and North America, but I'm not sure about international anymore because my distributors won't do it correctly. So I don't know. We're working on it. But for U.S. and North America, I'm looking at you because there are no excuses to get one. Everybody else, there are some excuses, I guess. But I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated when we know we can shoot internationally now. But thanks.
well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I am wearing my Willem shirt today. There's Willem with a bag of dicks.
I don't know if you could say that.
Oops. A bag of tricks.
Yeah.
And I am also drinking some water, except I don't have cold water. I have room temperature water.
Oh no, I have cold.
I saw.
Consuming water, but yeah. So we are here, and we're talking about Belgique, Drag Race Belgique, episode 6. But before we do that, subscribe to the channel. I know you see us. You're here. Go on to it right now, quickly. You saw him do it, David? Did you see him do it?
Not this time. I'm waiting. Wait. Oh, I saw one.
You saw?
There we go.
Get it. Thank you. And it takes just a half a second to do it. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you won't miss a single video when we drop it. And do all those things. We appreciate you. If you're a fan of reality TV, we got a channel for you. Go to the Cup TV, and we talk about almost all things reality over there. Hit the subscribe button over there. Go ahead. We'll give you time to do it. Thanks. I see it. I see you running over there. And while you're running over there, continue to run to the Cup ESC where we talk about almost all things Eurovision. I know you're a fan of that. Go over there. Get your Eurovision on. Videos are heating up over there. We got a lot of songs to talk about. So go over there, hit that button. And if you want to join the Tea Room, which is our membership channel here, where you get early access to videos and you get some exclusive videos that won't ever come out on the main channel. So just for your eyes only, go to hit that join button down there. And it's $5 a month. And we have some great content out there and waiting for you. And if you just are a fan of Patreon instead of using the YouTube, you can go to our Patreon. All those links will be in the description below. And yeah, that's that. Do all those things. David, we're here. We're talking about Belgique. Episode 6. We come back into the workroom. Star's gone.
Yeah. And they have a very somber, like, walk into the workroom where they're remembering Star. They all seem pretty sad. And then they all say, Star is gone. Enchanté.
Oh,
They spoke English for us.
oh, Shante. I
And
was like, look at there. Apparently, Star left a very good impression on them, and she was very loved. They all appreciated Star, but Star's gone, and we move.
We do, but we will never forget Star, and we will never forget this. Never.
That will always be one of my favorite things. We would never let that go.
Nope.
That picture will be around forever. And I don't know when I'm gonna pull it up again, but I will pull it up again. So the alarm goes. Everybody's talking about, they're congratulating who won. She's
It was Chloe.
Chloe.
Yeah.
Chloe won. I'm so used to her not winning. I forgot that Chloe actually won. Good on Chloe. Yeah. Good on Chloe. I'm very happy that she won.
That's our girl.
That's my girl, Chloe. Let's see you, Chloe. Love Chloe. But yeah, Chloe wins. I'm very excited. And everybody's like, yay, good on you, Chloe. Good for you. The alarm sounds. Oh, I run. Ooh.
Rita.
Rita, about there. Rita. Yeah. Rita comes out looking in the suit. Good on you, Rita. Look great. Want to keep it going though. I think for them they cut her off too quick for Rita every week. It's like Rita, back it. Oh, more. Oh, Rita. It's like, you gotta let her get in the groove. As soon as she come in the door, she's like, they're like, Rita, back it. She's like, I'm still coming down the steps. Give me more. But yeah, they Rita comes out and lets them know that the library is open officially. And it's a reading challenge or acid tone. Who has the most acid tone? And I was like, okay, get ready to say it. But she didn't say it. Nobody said reading is what? Fundamental. Nothing. We didn't get it.
What the heck? I didn't even notice that.
I did. I was like, wait, what? No fundamental? Oh. I thought everybody said it. But all right, guess not. But it was a reading challenge. And I'm just going to be honest with y'all. And this could be just my opinion. It could be lost in translation or whatever. This was the worst reading challenge I've ever seen.
Ooh.
This was so bad. This was worse than España's. This was worse than Mexico's. And I was just like, that was pretty bad. This is bad. I didn't laugh at all. I did not laugh the entire time. And I'm like, and it wasn't just because I think it could be translation, maybe still. I just didn't find any of their jokes funny. I thought it was kind of very much weak sauce.
I see what you're saying. Like, I didn't really laugh, and I don't think anything left like a memorable impression on me, but they did not edit it like it was a bad reading challenge. So I think that's what kind of threw me off there. But I did have some things that stood out. I think I did have a favorite thing about the reading challenge. And that was a consistent thing where everybody's reads for Chloe were about how she doesn't understand the language. And every time they had a read for Chloe, she didn't understand it. And I'm like, that is so funny that they're all saying that. And then it happens to be true right afterwards.
I mean, that was the funny thing, but I was like, the funny part wasn't they jokes. It was the fact that Chloe was just like, I don't get it. As I was saying,
She'd just be
anybody
like,
read
look,
the reading challenge, Chloe won just for not understanding what they were talking about. Like,
and you know what? I bet Chloe just got the jokes now watching it back. She's like, oh, okay.
yeah,
I see. Now I get
now I get
that.
it. As the
Thanks.
subtitle
Thank
said,
you,
y'all were
subtitles.
calling me saying I don't understand your language because I don't. It's that was the way they put that together and the way folks was coming for her, and she was just like, I don't get it. That was funny, but like I said, I don't think the jokes were funny, but I thought that was funny. I agree with you on that. I agree.
But I tell you this every time I watch a reading challenge. I write down who I think the winner was before it's said. And this time I did not get it right. And I don't know why I put this person. I can't remember anything they did, but I put Gabanna. So I must have liked something that Gabanna did.
The way they edited it and the way it went, I was like, oh, Veuve's winning.
Oh, okay.
Because it was like she got more jokes, number one. We saw more of her. And I think people were laughing more with hers than they were with, like, they didn't have that moment with when she was up there when she said something and everybody go, like they didn't have a confession with somebody going, like that was bad.
Right.
So I kind of figured that she would be the winner, but I don't think Gabanna was bad either. I don't think she was bad. I just don't remember what she did. But the winner of the winning challenge was Veuve. Yeah.
Good job.
Good job on her. Good on her.
2 in a row.
Yep.
She's a mini challenge queen.
She's a mini challenge beast, I guess. But so then Rita announces that the Maxi challenge is going to be an acting challenge where they're going to do a murder on the
Orient Express, yeah.
Murder on the Orient Express. And it was a mystery murder kind of thing.
You know, it's funny because I just rewatched Murder on the Orient Express last year, and I bet it was probably extremely close to the time this was filmed because I was watching I watched that one and Death on a Nile before Haunting in Venice came out. I wanted to rewatch those, so I was like, oh, okay, I recognize some of the character tropes that they're going for. So it was an interesting challenge.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you've not saying that they're the same or it's not, they're not good, but if you watch the murder mystery kind of like movie, you can kind of pick up on the tropes of what these, what the characters are supposed to be. And I enjoy a good murder mystery of a whodunit type thing. So, and I like guessing along with the movie, like, who did it? I think it was him. Oh, no, I changed my mind. I think it was you. Oh, no, I think it was this person. So I enjoy a murder mystery type deal. And so I was like, okay, this is cute. This could be cute. This could be a good acting challenge for them. But then I was like, my only concern was that everybody don't speak the same language. And I was like, we have 2 people on the cast right now who don't speak fluent French?
Yeah, but I do think Gabanna is pretty fluent.
I think she's better
because she at least lives in a French-speaking part of Belgium.
Yes.
Chloe does not.
Right. And so I was like, people don't speak that, but I guess this is challenges. You just got to overcome these challenges if you can. But Veuve had to assign the roles, and she went off by herself because she was taking this very seriously. She's like, I need to think about this because this is something that I am very passionate about. So I want to think about it. So she got her notebook, and she went and sat in the corner. She was like,
She's like, this is a real casting couch.
The casting couch? And each person went up and talked and pled their case on why they wanted what role. And so many people wanted the Countess and the Duchess. So many people wanted that. Nope, not a lot of people wanted
the conductor.
The conductor or the assistant because they were like, they don't have that many lines. But everybody wanted to be the Duchess or the Countess.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll just kind of jumping ahead, but I was a little surprised after hearing how they all talked about the parts. I was like, oh, okay, there's going to be very lopsided roles. Like some are going to have like hardly any lines, some are going to
Mhm.
have quite a bit, and then some are just going to be dominating it. And I really thought, other than the character that of I don't remember her name, it was Urkil. It's that character, the main character, um, who Veuve ended up
The
playing.
detective.
Yeah, other than that character, they were all pretty even for me in
Mm-hmm.
the amount of screen time they got. I guess some characters did have fewer words in their responses, like a lot of no, yes,
Mm-hmm.
but they sure made it seem like it would be way more variety in the amount of parts people would have here. So
Mm-hmm.
it was interesting.
It was interesting. I don't know if the strategy was correct, but I guess in hindsight, I would say no. But I felt like if I was Chloe, I want the conductor.
Hmm.
Give me the one with the least amount of lines that I have to remember, and it's all in the reactions that I could shine with. Like I'll shine in my reactions and with her voice because her voice is kind of deep. I feel
Hmm.
like she could have given that authoritative, who are you? Like, give me that, kind of whatever. I felt like that would have been a better role for like I would have wanted that if I was Chloe. I'd be like, give me the conductor, least amount of lines, but more in the I could take that and just act the heck out of it instead of memorizing all these lines and feeling like I have to say so much. I don't
Hmm.
know, but
Yeah. And we did hear Levesque before talking to anybody. She was debating like, do I want to make things harder on my competition,
hmm
or do I want to try to make the best product possible? And
hmm
it really felt like she went a third route. She just wanted to whatever people wanted.
hmm
Let me try to give them that part,
hmm
because the only person who even mentioned the conductor was Lulu.
hmm
And then I thought it was funny when she gave Lulu the conductor. Lulu seemed annoyed with it, and it's like, "Why did you mention that as an option
right.
if
If
you
you
were gonna
didn't
be
want it,
annoyed about it?"
if you didn't want it, don't say it. Like
Right.
because I really feel like if nobody said the conductor role, she probably would have gave it to Chloe.
Probably.
I think she probably would have gave it to
Mhm.
Chloe.
'Cause she was trying to push her in that direction.
Yes. Yeah. But she did give out the roles, and she gave the Duchess to Gabanna. She gave the Countess to Alvilda. She gave the assistant to Chloe, and the conductor to Loulou. And yeah, I thought it was pretty fair. That's what people were pretty much asking for. I thought it was a pretty fair way to assign it.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, but so they go off after they get their parts, they go off to learn things and have their rehearsal with Rita. Oh well, recording with Rita, and I felt like this took way longer than I wanted it to, but I guess it had to because they were recording.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we had to see a little bit of everybody. The first thing I thought is like, "Wow, why is everybody so dark? Everybody's so lit from one side."
hmm
But it actually turned out looking good. But,
hmm
like, during the practice, I was like, "How we're just gonna see silhouettes of people the whole time?" But there were a couple things that really stood out to me, during the actual filming with Rita, and unfortunately, the first thing was that Chloe was really having a hard time getting the right lines at the right time. She kept saying the wrong thing. She would say no, and she was supposed to say yes, and yes when she's supposed to be no. And I was like, no, because I was very worried. I was very worried for Chloe, and I'm like, please, like, we'll admit it, we are fans of Chloe. We like her a lot,
A lot.
um, and so I was like, I really hope this is not her week. But yeah, it was like, oh, this is not a good start. Not a good start.
No, I was like, oh, jeez, Chloe, no. I wanted her to just shock the world and do so good, but it was not turning out that way. Um, I felt like Loulou was a little struggling a little bit with this conductor role. I don't know if she knew how she wanted to play it or what direction she wanted her character to go in, but she got some suggestions and some feedback from Rita, and she changed it up a little. She changed it up a lot, and it was like, okay, that makes more sense as a conductor. Um, I felt like the person who got the least amount of notes was Veuve.
Mm-hmm.
I think she came in with her character in mind, but I didn't expect anything less from her because she is that character actor kind of queen, and I was like, she loves the character. Veuve loves the character, and she go in there and with the character and ride it out. But we'll talk about the performance later. I think everybody else. I think Alvilda had some small issues, but she was able to adjust it really well. And the
Mm-hmm.
same thing with Gabanna. I think once she got some notes. I mean, once she figured out how to say suspected the right way. Yeah, it took a few takes for them to figure
Yeah.
out how to say suspected. I mean, I was like, I don't know French, but now I even know how to say suspected in French. So that's
Soupçonné. Did I
huh?
say it right? Soupçonné.
Soupçonné.
Soupçonné. Tell me in the comments if I said it right. This was funnier than the reading challenge to me. How she kept saying it, and then the subtitles would like have like ridiculous, like it said like sucked off.
It
Like
was so much. It was like succeeded something. I was like, what
yeah.
is happening? What is she saying? They didn't know, but
It
soupçonné.
was so funny, and she was just being so dramatic with it too. So that just added
Soupçonné.
it to being so funny. I really like this.
Yeah, this was the highlight for me. One of the funniest moments in the episode because I was like, oh my god, she determined to get it, but
Mhm.
it took a while for her to get it. But she got it. She
Right.
got it.
And I just get worried though because I'm like, do they count off for people taking a few takes to get it right?
Yeah.
Because
They did that in somewhere.
yeah, it was it was actually it was this. It was this.
Was it them?
Yeah, it was them. From it was for the recording of the song. Remember we
Yeah, it
talked
took
about
them
it?
too many
That was
times.
behind the scene conversation that we had. Um yeah, that was off air, but apparently people were kind of penalized for taking a lot of takes to record the song in episode 3. But yeah, I was like, are they going to do the same thing here where they might punish somebody for taking a few takes to get the right part? But I don't know. We'll get into what I thought of Gabanna overall.
But after the rehearsal or after the recording, they go back to the workroom the next day, and I'm trying to remember what happened in the workroom.
Well, they start off by talking about what they miss.
Mm.
And Gabanna's like, my phone? But then Chloe gives the answer that I think that they were kind of pushing for people to say, and it's men. And we find out that these have a lot of horny queens. And you know what? More power to them. They're not all horny though. But yeah, yeah, Loulou, we find out, she says, oh, I don't need sex. I can go a year without sex. So everybody else was like, what? I could never. I thought this was interesting. And I'm like, could I go a year without sex? I don't know. I'll be honest. It's been 2 months for me. 2 months, which is probably hell for these queens out here, but I'm okay after 2 months.
Yeah.
I don't need it. I mean, sure, it's nice, but
Right. It's not like I could go a year without it. Easy.
Mhm.
Easy cops live like I've gone a year without it
Oh,
before,
no.
so it's not a big deal because it's not that important for me. Is it good? Absolutely. Do
Mhm.
I just have to have it on a regular basis? Absolutely not. But if I get it, I get it. If I don't,
True. My longest streak has been 28 years almost.
I mean, if you
I
ever
was I was almost 28 before I did anything sexual.
I'm about to say,
Period.
I'm
Even
about
a
to,
kiss.
Oh, wow.
My
Now,
first kiss, I was 27.
oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, no. I've had my first kiss when I was very young,
Mhm.
but anything sexually beyond that, it was 22 before I even had anything.
Look at us late bloomers.
I know, it was like 22, maybe even 23 before I even did
Mhm.
anything. And then after that, it was like very long spurts in between. Like, it wasn't like, oh, once I've done it, I do it every day. No, it
Yep.
was kind of like, because the first time wasn't that great. Not gonna lie.
Fair.
Wasn't so great. So I wasn't like, I need to do it over and over again. It was kind of like,
Mhm.
oof, if this is it, no, thank you.
Yep.
So it was long times in between.
Yep. But it's actually interesting. So the reason it took me so long is because I was very closeted.
Mhm.
Um, and like all of my friends, my whole like social interaction, very religious. So just the thought of doing anything gay, and I wasn't gonna do
Like
anything straight
anything
either.
I
Yeah.
see.
No, that was just like such a foreign concept. But
Mhm.
finally, when I was 27, I that's when I heard about a little website called Chat Roulette.
Oh,
I'm like, "Ooh, I'm curious about this." So, I got on oh, I'm pouring all my tea out here, and this is
okay.
not even the tea room, but I'm gonna let you all, the few people that like all 80 whatever people of you that are watching, uh, I kinda got addicted to Chat Roulette
Oh.
because it was my only outlet. I was so suppressed for so
Mm.
long.
Mhm.
So I would sometimes just go to work, come home, immediately get on the computer, and stay on it until it was time to go to
Mm.
bed, and it would be way too late. I would skip meals because I was craving validation. I was like,
Mm.
for 27 years, I'm like, "I'm ugly. I'm not a sexual creature to anybody." So I finally got, like, a dose of, like,
Mhm.
some affirmations, and it became, like, an addiction for me.
Mm.
And then eventually I heard people on Chat Roulette talk about Grindr, and then I got Grindr, and then I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, I'm scared now because this is getting a lot closer." Like, Chat Roulette, these people are all over the world.
Right.
Now Grindr, these are people
Right
within a
down the
mile
street.
from me.
Right.
So I was very worried. I was like, "I don't wanna just jump into things. I don't wanna do anything before I'm ready." So I actually took a while to even meet anybody. It was probably about 2 months of having Grindr before I met up with anybody, and, I eventually did have sex
Mhm.
for the first time.
Mhm.
I invited somebody over to watch a movie. I didn't know that people, like, on Grindr, if you invited people to watch a movie, people just assume that meant sex. But for me, I love movies, so when I invited somebody over to
I
watch a
really want you to
movie,
watch a movie.
yeah, I was like, so we started watching this movie, and 20 minutes in, he's climbing on top of me, and then one thing led to another. And, look, I'm still friends with him, and it's been over, what, 11 years since
Mhm.
then? But yeah, but it's crazy, and I wanted to bring that up because they actually talk about Grindr a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, Avilda, she talks about, like, different dating apps and
Mhm.
how those helped her discover, who she is as a sexual creature, things she likes, things she doesn't, and she's not ashamed of it.
Mhm.
And I really appreciated that. And honestly, it helped me to be comfortable about talking about this because, like, I don't talk about my sex life all the
Right.
time. But you know what? I shouldn't be ashamed of it. Like, we're
Absolutely
taught
not.
to be ashamed of sex, like,
Absolutely.
especially those of us who come from, like, very religious
Yep.
backgrounds. Like, it is so shameful.
Yep.
Like, I don't even like I did
Really.
not even talk about, like, masturbation
Oh,
with
oh, please.
anybody, even in
Oh,
college.
please don't talk about
No,
that. Because why
don't
would you fulfill your own sexual
mm,
needs? Like,
we
why
don't
would
do that. We
we
don't
don't
do
do
that.
that. We don't need that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I really like this conversation.
Yeah.
It was light, but
Mhm.
it was real, you know?
Yes. It was definitely real. It was freeing. It was like, okay.
Mhm.
It taught you I think it showed both ends of the spectrum, like, you don't have to be ashamed of being a sexual creature, a sexual person, and that's okay. It's okay to do that. It's okay to be that. And then it taught you to it's okay if you don't want to have sex all the
Mhm.
time. If you're not a sexual creature, not a sexual being, that's not your zhuzh, that's not your thing. It's okay.
Yep.
You be who you are, and it's okay to be who you are. And
Exactly.
I appreciated this conversation for that they were open and so free to do that and express themselves that way.
Right. And I also like that they brought up that they kind of had to learn what gay sex was like because
Mhm,
like we grew up in school, we would have sex education,
mhm.
but it would be for straight people. So
Absolutely.
there really was a lot to learn. Like I mean, I'm still learning things
Yeah.
because people do things I've never dreamed of
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
But then I really appreciated Avilda closed it out by talking about how she's on prep,
Mhm.
which I am definitely a very strong advocate for being on prep. It was actually a drag race queen talking about their experience with HIV that really encouraged me to look at my own kind of like stigma for that
Mhm.
and actually do something about it. Like if I'm worried about getting HIV or having sex with somebody who has HIV because of stigma that I've been taught,
Mhm.
what am I doing for a solution? So I
Right.
did. It was Charity Case in the third season of Drag Race UK who talked about that experience, and then like almost immediately afterwards, I went and met with somebody, and I take prep every day. So
Period.
yep,
And then she was just like, it's not for just gay people. It's for straight people. It's for anybody who's trying to prevent things from happening. I was
yep,
like, and honestly, I'm gonna be real. I had no idea. I didn't know that prep was used for. I thought for everybody. So I was very like learned. I learned it, listening, and so I appreciate learning. In my old age, I'm 47 years old, and I had no idea because nobody talks about it.
right,
We don't talk about it. So with to hear the conversation, I was like, oh, okay. So now I'm gonna look into
hmm,
because you just never know. You
true,
never know what people are bringing to a relationship. And if you want to protect yourself and you want to make sure that you're fine, you need to do, like you said, take the measures and do what you need to do. So yeah, I love that.
yeah,
Uh,
good conversation for sure. And
Great
once
conversation.
again, the same people that we always hear from.
All right. Just We love that
Mhm.
for all of us. But I think at that point, we get to go on. And I was prepared this time. Our judges. Oh, no. Okay. And Rita, girl, Rita, girl, Rita.
It's not my favorite.
Girl. This might be the lowest you're getting from me, Rita, because
Ooh.
girl.
I don't think it's horrible. It just feels not like a host look, you know?
It looks boxy to me. Like she looks
True.
like she's SpongeBob.
I think if she had a skirt on, I might like it better
Maybe.
in a different wig.
The guest judge, Camellia. I think I'm saying that right. I can't remember if I'm saying it right. Sure.
I'll
She's
take your
winning.
word for it. I don't remember a thing about like I'm looking at her now. I'm like, she was in this episode.
She really was a non-factor in this episode, I'll be honest. I
Mhm.
don't remember much from her. Leo and Moosey is there. They look fine.
I thought Leo looked good.
They look
I
good.
remember her looking better in the episode than I do in this picture right now.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, the category is sexy.
Sexy outfits. Yes.
Sexy outfits. Like you looking sexy. Beautiful background, Logan.
I'm curious why. Why is this a theme?
Why
Because
is saxophones
like a saxophone, it just feels like for me, it feels like you've just picked a random instrument.
a thing?
I'm wondering if a saxophone is something special to the culture in Belgium. So if it
I
is, please let us know.
I mean, I think it's like I felt like it was a random instrument, but it's a play on words, saxy, to say you're saxy, and so it's
Mm,
a saxophone and saxy. But also, no, in the music world, in the band world, the saxophone is the sexy instrument.
hmm
The saxophone is a very sexy instrument with its curves and how you finger it, and I think it's a play on words on being sexy, and
Oh,
so
oh, 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 oh.
uh-oh.
Adolphe Sax is a Belgian inventor and musician
Oh,
who invented the saxophone.
period.
So the saxophone was invented in Belgium. Okay, that
So
makes
this
sense then.
makes sense, and I still think everything I said counts too.
True. Yep.
I think all could be true,
hmm
but we move to Miss Loulou Velvet.
Yeah, I thought this was a very pretty dress. It is velvet. It leans into her name, and she's doing an homage to Blue Velvet, which is a classic '80s film, one that I have not seen, and it's kind of embarrassing because I am supposed to be the film connoisseur of
Right.
this panel, but I've heard good things. I'm not the biggest David Lynch fan, so I might watch it at some point, but a lot of people love David Lynch. His movies aren't always my thing. But I couldn't even tell that was a saxophone at first. Um, the more, because at first I'm like, how does this fit the theme? I don't understand. And this was the first one we saw. So I'm like, I don't understand this theme. And then the more I looked, I was like, oh, okay. It's like a leopard print saxophone like wrapped around her. So I thought that was smart. I thought it was a very interesting concept. It wasn't obvious. I wish it had been a little bit more obvious, but I still thought it was a very solid look.
It was a cute blue velvet dress with some leopard print wrapped around it. It
Mhm,
was cute, solid. It was cute and solid.
mhm.
That's it. Scores.
I gave it an 81.
Oh, I gave it a 61.
Ooh.
Oh, well, I guess I'm the main one here.
I guess so. I actually thought it was cute.
Okay. Gabanna.
um, so you know what I'm going to say, right?
Real illusions.
uh, I'm not crazy about the flesh tone of it all. Um, but other than that, I do like that she went on a like for a campy route here because we haven't seen like a lot of campiness from her. And I really like how she moved on the stage too. She just kind of glided, and I don't know how she did that. I was wondering maybe she wore those skates again, recycled them. So I really liked her delivery of this. So it was a good look for me overall, despite the flesh tone part. But yeah.
It wasn't my favorite. It was all right. I think the bottom of the dress I liked more than I liked the top of the dress. It was all right. I like her wig and I like her face. It just wasn't. It just it wasn't my favorite. I'm gonna go on and say this. This runway, not a lot of high look. Not my favorite runway.
Fair.
But scores.
I gave it a 79.
I gave it a 65. Mm.
We're getting closer.
Alvilda Earth.
So I think this was my favorite of the night. And the reason is because I felt like she went for a very smart concept that worked. She did a deconstructed saxophone. So she didn't make it too obvious. And it resulted in a very high fashion looking outfit. So I really appreciate that. I kind of wish that the black like bodysuit of it all was a different color. Like I think if that had been gold too, I think that would have been really cool. But then maybe that would have been too much gold. So I'm really not sure. But overall, I do like this.
Yeah, I like it. I like it better than I like some others. I like the concept of the deconstructed sax. I don't know. I feel like I want the bodysuit to be something else. I get why it's black because the gold would be, if it was gold, it'd be too much gold. You wouldn't be able to
Right.
see the detailing
True.
of the saxophone part. But I feel like it's just too plain. Like it needs something else. Like I feel like, especially around the arms and the shoulders, the shoulder part of it, it just feels very plain. Like she only got the gold on the one sleeve, and then I don't know. I don't know. I get it. I like it. I do like it, but I want to. I don't know what more I want, but I want more. Scores.
I gave her an 85.
I gave her an 86.
Okay,
I do like it.
good.
Veuve.
Yeah, I think this is a nice look, but it's a little too simple. Like it almost feels like she just had a different outfit, and she's like, let me just put this uh silver sax around it. So
Mhm.
it kind of feels like the outfit is not key to the theme itself. And I didn't really need all that glitter. Like it kind of just looked a little dusty and dirty with all the glitter on the shoulders. But once again, I'm glad she's been painting her beard lately, so I appreciate that part of it. But yeah, this was probably my least favorite of the looks.
Yeah, it's simple. I mean, I think I like the silver that she went silver instead of gold, like
Mhm.
a typical sax. But I think she just put a suit, a little skirt and jacket suit together, and threw the silver thing on it, and was relying heavily on the silver sax instead of the outfit itself. And I wish she would have relied more on the outfit and then had the saxophone be a nice big accessory to a beautiful outfit. Um, I do like her face in this. I like her makeup in this, and she gave us a little. Um, I want to say, my sisterhood uh
Mhm.
headscarf with the big
It's
bow,
like
like
a Rita the Riveter, is that her name?
yeah, 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 yeah. I love that, but other than that, I feel like the outfit is just too simple, and it brings the look down instead of elevating the saxophone.
Mhm.
It it didn't. It just didn't do it, but it wasn't. It was fine.
Right.
It was fine. Scores.
I gave it a 70.
I gave it a 71.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Chloe Clarke.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This was another one of the highlights for me. I
Mm-hmm.
think her and Alvilda were my favorites here.
Mm-hmm.
She did a nude tone suit. So once again, she has her chest covered, but it's not like we've been seeing from her. So I didn't mind this because it was like at least there was some detailing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with the music notes and like she's got it like bedazzled and bejeweled and all of that. But I think my favorite part is how she took the saxophone, it's wrapping around her body, and then it just becomes the leg piece. I thought that was a really cute idea there. And her face is so pretty, her hair is so pretty. So she kept it pretty. So yeah, I think very strong look for her.
Yeah, I think this is a strong look. I feel like her nude illusion matches her skin tone better than some other people's nude illusions.
Right.
So, and that's just because she just has that skin tone that can match a nude illusion, and that's great because it looks really good. It's not distracting like other people's nude illusions. So I'm like, oh, it actually looks like she's just wearing this gold saxophone, and these music notes are on her body.
Hmm.
It's a good look. We say it week after week. Her face card never declines. Her wig and her makeup is always stunning, and this is no exception. I love it. This was my favorite look of the night. Her and Avilda definitely were like neck and neck for me. This was my
Hmm.
favorite look of the night, though.
Yep.
Scores.
I gave her an 83.
I gave her an 88.
Okay.
And that was it. Yo,
Yeah.
that's so quick. That's so quick. So let's go on here. So we get. Oh no,
Yep.
we have to talk about
The challenge.
the challenge, and Logan did not put the looks for the challenge on the
Oh
slides.
no, Logan, you're fired.
They're fired. No, we
Just kidding.
can't fire Logan at all.
Fire Logan from his own podcast.
Right, we fire Logan from that Logan
It's a
created.
coup.
But we don't have the pictures for the but we
Mhm.
can remember. I can remember.
Yeah,
But we'll talk about performance anyway, not really about the looks.
right.
So let's start with what are you about to say something? I'm sorry.
Well, I was trying to figure out how to start. I was gonna maybe start, but see, we might not agree. But I was thinking we could start from like maybe who was the worst and go up to who was the best.
I mean, we can start with who. We'll go with your worst, and then I'll
Okay.
tell you if I match your worst.
Okay. We'll see. Okay. Well, I hate doing this then because out of the 5,
Mm-hmm.
the worst for me, and I'm sure she might agree. Unfortunately, it was Chloe.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't her challenge. She definitely struggled in the filming, and it was definitely better in the final product, but you could still see like a little bit of unsureness behind
Mm-hmm.
her. Like there was a little bit of calculation in her eyes. But that could have been her character too, because her character was like questioning things a lot, like no, yes. So I couldn't tell if it
Mm-hmm.
was Chloe questioning things
Right.
or if it was her character. But overall, it was just a little bit more timid than I wanted from her. She still did well. I don't think anybody did poor in this challenge at all. But yeah, it was sad. And she has such a hard time compared to all the rest of the queens, since this is not her first language and it's not her second language. So she still was solid.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I would agree that Chloe probably was the worst in this challenge. Um, but I feel like I was hoping she would lean more into that character of I don't know. Do I know? Yes. No. Like if she would have made her not knowing more as a character instead of just like you say, I wanted to just know that that's the character and not Chloe. And it just felt like it could have been both.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been both. And so I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I'll move on to the person who I thought was 4th best, and this shouldn't be a surprise, but it was Loulou for me, Loulou Velvet. Um, and once again, I don't think she did bad. My issue with her really came down to the first half of her performance when she was talking. I saw some expressiveness in her face, but her voice was not matching it. Her voice was very monotone, and then it didn't really go anywhere vocally until the end when she was like being dramatic and crying, and it's like, well, of course you can there, but I want to see levels throughout. I don't want to just be bored with how you're speaking in the beginning part. But I do think her face was selling it overall, and I was worried that it might not, based on the filming, but she really gave me face.
Yeah. I agree pretty much with everything you just said. It was very much like the tones not matching the face. And then I wasn't moved by her performance. I wasn't like I really didn't know who her character was. I'll be honest. I didn't know where she wanted to go with this character. And she was supposed to be an authoritative person and, the conductor of the train. And I was like, it didn't feel that way for me.
Right.
So it was kind of like a little lacking. But yeah.
Okay, here's where things might get weird, and here's where you might disagree with me, you might agree with me. I'm not sure. But for me, the person who was right in the middle, 3rd place, was actually Veuve. Um, Once again, Veuve did not do bad by any means. I had a specific issue with her. And so, keeping in mind that she is wearing this big mustache here, it's covering her face. So if I'm going to get emotions, I can't get it anywhere except for your eyes. You have to really sell me with your eyes. And for me, most of her performance, her eyes were just the exact same throughout. I would hear, it was kind of the opposite of Loulou. I would hear the emotion and the expression in her character, in her voice, but I couldn't see it. I just saw the eyes, and I think especially with the way she was painted, it was very hard to give any emotion. And I think she did improve near the end. So, which makes me think like this must have been filmed chronologically. I think she probably realized she had to go a bit harder. So it got better near the end. I would not have given her the win by any means.
I agree. I definitely agree with you. I think
Okay.
Lavelle was very much at the safe zone for me. She wasn't bad by any means, but I don't feel like she was the best. I agree. The mustache kind of just hid a lot, and I felt like that was a hindrance to her instead of it being any kind of help. Um, yeah, I think Lavelle was her character. She had it realized, but I don't know if we saw all of the emotions that she was trying to bring out because her half her face was hidden by a mustache. And like I said, we can only see the expression in her eyes, but her eyes wasn't giving those expressions that we were looking for, that I thought was there for the actual performance. Did she have the character down? Yes. Did she know her lines? Absolutely. But I just don't feel like she was giving the 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 vibe that I wanted from a detective.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Agreed. So far we're in agreement.
we
Ooh,
might
so
change
now we just have to see if our top two is different.
that.
Okay, so for me, second, which will reveal who my top was this week, but number two for me was Alvilda.
Same for me.
Oh, okay.
I think the person who won should have been Gabanna.
Gabanna. Okay. Well, speaking of Alvilda, I thought she was a very good actress in this.
Mhm.
Like she gave me natural actress. Like you could tell that acting is a strength of hers. Honestly, what's not a strength for her? She's so good. She like this is becoming kind of like season one where somebody just kind of dominate and you just knew from the beginning who was going to win season one of Belgique. Kind of feels the same way with season two. But
Mhm.
she was just very, very solid. Like she gave the drama, the flair, like looking over her shoulder. So I had no notes for her. Like very, very good. She could have won.
She could have won. I think Alvilda's like the Countess role was the best role for her. I think either the Countess or the Duchess she would have been really good at. But like because the Countess is just so like she's sophisticated, she's classy, she's this woman of money and and she's like a little hint of arrogance, a little bit of people are beneath her, but not to the point where it's annoying. It was that very fine line of I'm the countess and da da da. But I look at you like this, but I don't make you feel like you're the lowest of the. I don't know, and I think she just played this character right to the point. Like she
Mhm.
got right to it, and she stuck to it. I wasn't like wondering where the character is going in this moment. I knew exactly where she was going. And I was riding around with her. I was like, okay, I'm interested in what she's saying and how she's delivering it. I thought she did a really solidly good job. Like it was, like you say, no notes. I liked her. I liked her delivery of this one. I felt like, yeah, she should have been in the top.
Yep.
Absolutely. And then Gabbana.
Mhm. So
Man.
Gabanna, and the reason I think Gabanna edged Alvilda for me is, like I said, Alvilda was giving me natural actress. Gabanna was giving me over the top actress, and that's what I want in these kind of challenges, especially if they're supposed to be funny. You got to really oversell it, and she did it without like losing her character at all. Like even her like pulling the newspaper down, she was just so extreme without it being messy or being derailed.
Mhm.
Fun. But yeah, I was super impressed with Gabanna. I think this is her best week.
I agree. I think this was so good, and I felt like she leaned into the comedy side of it, and I we needed that in this. I felt like her and Alvilda's characters were like yin and yang, and so we needed Alvilda to be that sophisticated, classy kind of countess, and then we needed Alvilda to be that funny, unassuming Duchess. And it was like they played off of each other, and it was like, oh, she's hideous, and she's like, I know, but it's just it was. I found her to be so like right in the pocket, not too far over the top, but not underneath underwhelming where I'm like, okay, I don't get it. I'm bored by it. She was right in that pocket. She hit the sweet spot. And I enjoyed her performance. I thought I thought this was a good week for her. And I was like, she could have won this. Like she should have won this.
I know. And I think, spoiling it a little bit, I think she got a low placement because she was one of those final three. And the way it was presented was, okay, it's between you three who's going to lip sync. So that means she was low, which is crazy.
Insane. I don't get that at all.
Like they must have been counting off for her taking a while to say, Susape.
It has to be, which I'm still like, you go penalize people for having several takes. That's crazy. That's crazy. We want to get it right, but whatever. But we overall, what did you think about the overall performance of it all?
Overall, I thought it was a decent challenge. Like, did I laugh a lot? No, I didn't laugh a lot, but there were definitely people that were funny. But yeah, I thought it was overall acted well. I was very curious if there was okay, skip ahead 30 seconds if you don't want to be spoiled on Murder on the Orient Express. But it has a very famous ending because it turns out everybody was involved.
Right.
So I was wondering if it was going to be everybody was involved with this wig issue. But no, we had our one person. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, overall, it was decent.
Agreed. Overall, I was like, okay, work. It was okay. I followed along. I understood it. I got the ending, and I was like, okay, we're good. We move. Cool. But we do get some results, and our top two this week was Veuve and Alvilda. Do not agree.
No,
but we already said we agree.
And I'm pretty sure Logan also had Gabanna as their winner.
I think so. But as we have a top two, we have to have a bottom two. And our bottom two is Loulou Velvet and Chloe Clarke.
Yeah. And this, I do think
I do agree with. This is, unfortunately, it's deserved. I'm not going to play it because I'm sad about it.
Right.
But the winner of this challenge is Veuve. Sure.
I mean, hey, at least we're keeping things competitive, right?
Sure.
Maybe that's a goal. No disrespect to Veuve.
No.
Because she did solid, but she probably had the hardest role.
Probably. And it was she did a good job.
Yeah.
She did a good job on that. And so, yep, work, queen. You ate it. You ate it up. You ate up your part. You had the most lines and you ate it up. So.
And it's hard to eat when you have a mustache covering your mouth.
Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't know because I have a mustache. So we get the lip sync between Loulou and Chloe. And I feel like I knew that. Oh, yes, it was Pink. It was Trust Fall.
Yeah, Trust Fall.
I knew that song. I was like, I know that song. But it was Trust Fall by Pink. Okay, budget. Look at y'all getting Pink. Work. Because I'm like, I did know this song. Right? Yeah. Trust Fall by Pink. And just gonna be honest here. And this has nothing to do with my bias on Chloe that I have, because I do. But I thought Chloe ate this. I thought Chloe won this lip sync. I won't say she ate it up, but I think Chloe won this lip sync.
That's fair. I actually thought it was extremely close. Like, it was hard for me to call. I kept watching and I'm like, I don't know who's winning. So if you have an instance where, it's so close to call, I can see you going, like, if you're a judge, going off track record. So Do I think it's fair that Chloe left in this lip sync? I do. Did I want Chloe to leave? No, because I am biased and I really, I like Chloe as a person. I like her as a queen. I like her as an underdog. But it did feel justified.
I I don't even know if it was that close where you had to say we need to go to track record. I mean, it was. I think they were even killed for a minute, but I feel like Chloe just kind of went up and Loulou kind of just stayed where she was. I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It could be my bias.
Mhm.
I'm not counting it out,
And
but
it could be for me that Lulu far surpassed my expectations based on her first lip sync, which I thought was kind of lazy.
I
I
thought
thought
this
this
was
was
kind of
much better.
lazy
Oh,
too. I
really?
thought this was kind of lazy.
I
I'm
thought it was
like,
good.
I was like, yeah, it's all right. Well, I mean, yeah, but yeah, unfortunately.
Mm.
I hate putting that up. I hate putting that up because I'm like, Chloe, no. No.
No.
I'm a fan. I loved her. I wanted her to stay much, much longer. But she went home right before the semis. So
Yep. And that was your last person.
we're gonna eventually get to it.
Oh, yeah. I guess
But
we
I'll
should.
take it. Let me give Chloe some more love though first. I love you, Chloe. I picked you first and I regret nothing. I will pick you first again. I was a fan. I think runway wise, you hit it every time. You hit it every single time, and I was a fan of you, Chloe. So yeah.
Yeah. And you know what the good news is? The finale is in 2 weeks, I believe.
Hmm.
So we're only going to have one episode without Chloe because
Yeah.
Chloe will be back for the finale, I'm sure.
Yes.
And I can't wait to see whatever Chloe would have worn in the
Hmm.
next episode because I'm sure she'll post it on Instagram and I'm sure it will eat up most of the queens,
Probably.
if not all.
Probably. But now I'll get to that.
Okay. Yes. So now Lana is officially out of the draft. She lost Chloe, and she finishes the draft with 23.5 points.
Ugh.
I am in second place, barely hanging on with Gabanna, and I have 33.5 points. So this means that Logan has not lost a single person in the draft. They are the three highest point earners this season. He has more points than both of us combined. So his three people have more than our six people collectively.
So
He's leading with 62.5 points.
Logan has won the Belgique draft. There's no way we could catch
Yeah.
him.
No.
So let's give Logan their flowers right now.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Logan for winning the Belgique draft. You're not even here to hear us give you the flowers because if we don't give you the flowers, well, next time we see you, you're going to claim we never give you your flowers when you win a draft. And that is not true. We're giving you all the flowers. Congratulations.
We're even giving you lotuses that are
Lotuses
all around
and
here.
all kind of stuff. Although David, we're just gonna have to do it again next week, and then the week after that, until the finale. We're going to have to give Logan the flowers, or
Yep.
we're just gonna be told we're not giving them flowers. So, but it is what it is. I ain't mad that I lost this draft. I will pick the same three people I picked before anytime because I enjoy
Mhm.
those. I enjoy
Same.
them. So, but that's that. We gonna be back next week. Not David though, because David will be gone.
I'll be
David's
traveling.
leaving. David's leaving us again, but me and Logan should be here talking about the semifinals of Belgique, which we see are going to be loved ones makeovers. They're turning their loved ones into drag daughters. So that's always a fun one. So we're gonna get that.
Yep. Someone has a very handsome loved one too. Like,
Mhm.
ooh, who's
Look at
this?
you. So look, we'll see how that translates into how they turn into drag. They
Mhm.
can be very handsome man, but will that translate into drag? We'll see.
Mhm.
Um, but if you stuck with us this whole hour and 5 minutes or so, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. And we appreciate you. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our content that we're putting out about almost all things drag, drag race related. We got more stuff coming your way. We have some seasons wrapping up, so we're losing some things, but we're gaining some things. So we'll continue to put out more content for the shows we're gaining. So Lamont is coming, you guys. You don't have to keep asking. It's coming. We're getting it ready for you. Go to our Cup TV channel to get all things reality TV, and we put out content all over there. So hit the subscribe button over there, and go to our Eurovision channel, the Cup ESC. Hit all the buttons over there so you won't miss content and things about Eurovision. I did not put the banner up the whole time.
Oops.
Oopsies. But you can follow us at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok because we put all of our funny moments there. You can follow us. Logan's down there too, so you can follow Logan too on Twitter if you wanna. And you keep scrolling down a little further, you can get your cup merch in the U.S. for sure, internationally, eventually. And yeah, that's it, y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Cheers.
Cheers. Subsepe.
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 Subsepe?
Subsection?